says that they were when we signed the house. His grandma, I mean, the aunt died that day. The next day, they were gonna like do the funeral, and then he called Molina, and he's like, "Hey, I want you to talk to like the kids, and like
right.
like tell them something or something inspiring, some bullshit like that. Well, not bullshit, but And,
yeah, just something like to calm them down,
right? Yeah. And then Molina's like, yeah. He goes, but then he never called me back. He's like, and then I'm just listening to him. And I'm like, yeah.
Interviews, I really am curious about what's going on with a guy like Jon Stewart, because I rarely get to talk to him. And then all of a sudden I look down at the clock and I realize I've been talking to Jon Stewart for an hour and 45 minutes.
Yes.
And there was probably 50 other things I would have asked him. Because for me, these interviews are like, wow, if I got to go to a dinner party with Jon Stewart and he was sitting there, this is exactly what I'd be asking him. You know,
does he get to eat? Because an hour and 45 minutes of talking like that, you don't get to eat your meal.
You never ever want to go to a dinner with me because you don't get to eat. Like I do. This is what I do. You know, I'll never forget a friend of mine invited me to dinner, and it was during the summer, and he'd set up outside like a table with you know, it was beautiful, and the guy had food and a buffet and the whole thing. And there was this guy here, the actor, I wish I knew his name. He's the kid from Dawson's Creek who played Pacey. Pacey.
Yeah, Pacey was there.
He was there, for example. I remember this, like, you know, and I'm sitting there, and he's sitting across from me, and he was with his girlfriend at the time. I don't think he's with this woman anymore. I think she's married to the guy from The Walking Dead. But anyway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and I thought, I've been watching this guy my whole life. I watched Dawson's Creek, and then he was on that other TV show on the Fox network.
What was the name of that?
It was a great show. It was just a great fucking show. Fringe. I love that show, Fringe. He was on Fringe. And I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, it's so sad. We're all sitting here, but nobody's talking to each other. And I looked over at him, and the actress he was dating was Diane Kruger.
Oh, and yes, and she is with, what's his name?
Yeah. And my first...
Walking Dead.
Norman Reedus. I was sitting there looking at these two attractive people, and I said, this is so silly. I mean, we're sitting here eating dinner. I'm going to ask, maybe I should ask this guy a question, because I am curious about him.
His name is Joshua Jackson, by the way.
Do you think that would have been a good question to ask him, since I still call him Pacey? Maybe he was turned off. I go, hey, Pacey, let me ask you a question. I'm sure he had to tell me that his name really isn't Pacey. I just assumed that maybe that was his real name. I don't know. But I'm sitting there, and it was getting dark outside, and I could barely see them, but I knew he was there, and he was eating. And I said to myself, well, maybe I should ask this guy a question, start a conversation with him. And I said, what's the point? I mean, he probably just wants to eat and get the fuck home. But then I realized that I was projecting my own thoughts. And so I said to him, how'd you two meet? And the two of them started to tell me their love story and how they met and all this. And then I was so curious about Dawson's Creek, and then I realized I must have had him out there for about 2 hours. Asking him questions, and he was answering. It was like we were, I was thinking to myself, gee, this would be great if my audience could hear this, because it's really interesting. This guy's an interesting guy.
And it would be great for him, too.
It'd be good for everyone. Like, why are we, but I was really curious. And, after I got up from that table, my wife said to me, boy, that was a really fascinating conversation. And I had lost track of time, and I didn't even realize my wife was listening. I mean, I said, yeah, and I felt very close to this guy. I felt like, oh, this is the start of a friendship or something, and I never heard from the guy or anything. And I realized this must have been a nightmare for this fucking guy. He's sitting on the beach trying to be with his girlfriend. He's kind of relaxing. He's eating a little bit of food. And this asshole's sitting across from him, asking him everything about his entire life and his
it's like an interrogation. How did
it really was.
Into this?
And I said to my wife, I feel horrible. I mean, I feel really bad. Like, I probably shouldn't have done that. It probably was a horrible night for the guy. Please don't take me anywhere. I don't want to go to any dinner. We've never been back to this dinner party. The guy has it every summer. I don't want to interact with people, because I'm sure whatever I do, it's wrong.
Maybe he enjoyed it. I don't know.
You know what? I don't think he did. I think he was like, what's with this guy? He's some kind of yenta. I don't want to be grilled here.
You don't turn this off.
No.
You can't go to a party.
Well, first of all, when I go to a party, I had to learn how to be at a party, because I was always miserable at parties. And it dawned on me one day that the reason I'm miserable is people are talking to me and asking me stuff about me. I do that for a living. I'm on the radio with you. You and I have a conversation every fucking day of our lives. So it dawned on me that I should go to a party, and whoever I meet first, stay with that person and have a real conversation, because I would be that guy always looking around to see who else was there and all that. And now if I go to a party, I latch onto one person and I talk to them. Doesn't matter who it is, I talk to them. Because
you don't circulate.
No, I make a rule. Whoever it is, that's it. Then I don't drive myself crazy walking around and having superficial conversation. So,
oh boy.
Again, I don't know how to
That's all parties are supposed to be about, superficial conversation.
Yeah, well, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to be at a party. I don't know how to even smile. I don't know how to enjoy myself. The time I get to a party, I want to leave the party. So the only way I can do it is to have something real go down. I'm telling you, I'm not good in the real world. So if I was at a dinner with Jon Stewart, this is how it would go down. I'd want to hear what this fucking guy is up to. I mean, he's on a fucking farm.
Jerry did it right. Jerry called you, and you two had a conversation over lunch or something. It wasn't in 50 people. It wasn't at a party. He said,
Jerry
I want to
Seinfeld.
talk to you. Jerry Seinfeld. And he set up a date.
Yeah.
That's when you do that kind of thing.
Yeah, and but he does the same thing. He set up an agenda. He said, Howard, we're going to talk about your career and what it is you want to do. And that's going to be the topic. And we can't deviate. Let's get something done. He was being very nice. Well, I got there. It was like two alligators wrestling each other because I was like, let's talk about you and what you're going to do. Are you going to stick with comedians and cars? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? And he goes, no, I'm not falling into that trap. We're going to talk about you. And, look, it was the most lovely thing ever that he cared enough to do that. I'm eternally grateful, but,
But
going
again,
out.
that's lunch talk with one person, and then there's party talk.
Party talk. I go to parties and people draw straws and the loser has to spend the night with me and keep me company. That actually happened. It's very, very sad.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Marianne from
You don't want to
Brooklyn.
get sat next to Howard.
No. Marianne, hi. What's up? Let's take a couple of calls.
What's up? Great, John Stewart, awesome. But a gift of gab. It's time for me to do my poem, Howard. Everyone is cooking and cleaning and fucking steaming. All I need is my Howard radio from the bunker, because I love to Howard Hunker. And this promoter too shall pass. Just wear a fucking mask. What do you think, Howard?
It's beautiful. I've never heard such good poetry. Between you and Ronnie, I'm going to throw up. How about Ronnie's poem this morning? Listen to that.
Ronnie.
Listen to the.
That was sad.
Listen to the first hour of the show, by the way, if you missed it this morning. We replay it all day.
Yeah, Ronnie's having a tough time getting through this.
Oh, you know what I should have read to Marianne? I
What?
should have read. A lot of people wrote in about Marianne, actually. A lot of people wrote in about Dr. Agus. They love the guy, listen, he was great.
Good.
One guy wrote me, nothing sticks more in your head than the Dr. Agus intro song, and I mean nothing. And he's right. I was singing it all day. Did you hear it? The Dr. Agus song?
Dr. Agus.
Yeah. I was actually singing. It's catchy.
It is.
What was the original song? It was,
Rock Me Amadeus.
yeah, Rock Me Amadeus.
Oh, yes, Rock
Yeah.
Me Amadeus.
I like it better, Dr. Agus.
Yeah, they should have written about Dr. Agus.
Hey, Marianne, call back. I'll read you the feedback the fans have. We played yesterday, Marianne from Brooklyn and Michael Rappaport, the actor, fighting with each other.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, the majority of our emails supported Michael Rappaport in this battle. I thought people were going to be loyal to Marianne from Brooklyn. Yeah, they agree with Michael that Marianne is a bully. I never saw her that way.
Wow.
But